Hi, I'm Sabrina, a sustainable living influencer, and today I want to take you all on an amazing adventure to Costa Rica. But first, let's talk about intentional living communities. Many of you are probably familiar with living in a typical neighborhood, where you might find houses or apartment buildings lined up next to each other with little interaction among residents. Common spaces are rare, and people are often leading isolated lives focused on individual goals and routines. What if you lived in a community designed to foster connection and cooperation? Here's an example that you might relate to. Have you ever lived in a student dorm or maybe stayed at a campsite like a KOA? Intentional communities are quite similar. Imagine sharing resources and spaces like gardens, kitchens, dining areas, event spaces, gyms, and laundry facilities. These communal areas foster regular social interactions and group activities, enhancing a sense of belonging and purpose. This can lead to significantly enhancing overall well-being and happiness. Just a quick aside, have you heard of Blue Zones? If not, I highly recommend watching Live to 100 on Netflix when you get a chance to. It talks a lot about the importance of living in community for the purposes of longevity. Back to belonging and purpose. When it's a student dorm, generally the students have a shared sense of belonging among their peers as they work towards a common purpose to get an education, while those on a campground are trying to escape the city and partake in outdoor activities. In many cases, living in an intentional community like an eco-village can offer a life that's more in harmony with human nature and the environment compared to mainstream society. Residents share a common goal to live sustainably. I wanted to know more about living in a life like this, so I decided to go on an adventure to Costa Rica. Earlier this year, I visited a renowned intentional community in Costa Rica called La Ecovilla, or Ecovillage. It was even featured in the Netflix series Down to Earth with Zac Efron. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. Located in the heart of Costa Rica's fruit-growing region, just 60 minutes west of San Jose, this peaceful land has become home to families from over 20 different countries who have escaped the rat race to live in this intentional community. Founded by Marcelo Balanci in 2012, an entrepreneur passionate about regenerative, self-sustainable projects, transformed a former cattle farmland into an edible forest with the infrastructure for community living. The resident families have access to a community garden, common spaces for potlucks, birthdays and other events, a workout space, and a chlorine-free pool, all managed by a maintenance team and the local community residents. During my 2-week visit, I immersed myself in the life of living in the eco-village. The home I stayed in was a screened-in open-air concept with sweeping views of the surrounding fruit forest, filled with wildlife that created a sound bath 24/7. Houses in La Ecovilla are built sustainably using upcycled or environmentally friendly materials, empowered by sustainable sources such as solar and bio-waste. In the mornings, I would go to the workout classes in the yoga shala, led by local residents. After these classes, I was usually drenched due to the humidity levels of like 80 to 95%. So naturally, I swam in the community pool or a nearby stream to cool off. After lunch, I went for hikes around the community, soaking in the nature and wildlife. I attended weekly harvest and craft festivals to check out the local flavors and locally designed jewelry. Okay, first of all, I picked up some mangoes. This is like their prime time right now to get them fresh. So, can't wait to have that. I also picked up some vino, El Sentido de la Vida. Yum. I'm gonna have that with the dinner later. And then I picked up some of this Palo Santo perfume, which has all the amazing scents from the different permaculture around here. Yum. And then I also got, this is De las Flores Salsas Picantes. This is the mango habanero one, and it has a nice kick to it. And then lastly, I got some pretty earrings that this local artist made. What do you think? Many residents source their food from organic permaculture gardens or local farmers' deliveries, but a short ride into town provides access to a small grocery and a pharmacy. An additional unique experience was sorting my waste. While I do this at home, it's not common to find it at an Airbnb. Lev recycles paper, glass, plastic, and aluminum waste and turns organic waste into compost for the community garden. The residents were incredibly welcoming, from one-on-one interviews where I could hear about their experiences living in La Ecovilla, to carpooling to the beach, sharing meals, and including me in community events like a surprise birthday party. I even had the chance to chat with the founder, Marcelo. He shared his story, what inspired him to create this community, and what motivates him to keep it growing. He's expanded from the original site to a new village, transforming another cattle farmland and zoo into an intentional community 10 times bigger than the original. I was lucky enough to get a tour of this new property, and it is beautiful. To learn more about it, visit laecovilla.com. Intentional living is more than just a trend. It's a way to reconnect with your values, your community, and your planet. If you're feeling inspired, I encourage you to explore intentional communities for yourself. Over the course of the next year, I'll be visiting more eco-villages and sharing with you what I discover. So keep an eye out. And with that, I thank you for joining me in this journey. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights into sustainable living. And if you have any questions or want to learn more, visit my website at Second.Nature.Solutions.org or follow me on Insta, TikTok, or Facebook. Thanks.